Hello and welcome back to Talk of the Townsends. I'm Benedict Townsend.
And I'm Hannah Townsend, and this is our second video podcast. And you know what they say? First the worst.
Second, even worse. Third, the one with the hairy chest. How are you doing, Hannah?
I'm doing good, thank you. I'm trying to think. It has been one heck of a week.
Every week is a heck of a week.
It's been busy.
It's been so busy. We've been doing some fun stuff.
On Monday, we held the bunnies.
Yes, we did the Zootropolis 2 junket, which you'll hear soon. And there was a bunny room.
So after we got out of the interview, we got to hold some bunnies and play with some bunnies. And I think, are they like emotional support bunnies?
Yes, apparently they're specially trained bunnies.
Really?
Yeah, apparently like standard bunnies won't allow strangers to just like pick them up and stroke them and stuff. They have to be trained. And then they take those bunnies to like hospitals, prisons, junkets.
I love that they said that they'd been to prisons. Like the thought of all these bunnies just being in a prison. What a life they've lived.
I know, they've really seen a lot of the world. They've been to places where people experience trauma. Prison, hospitals, junkets.
On Wednesday, our lovely friend Zainab hired a screening for her birthday. A screening, a cinema.
She hired a whole damn cinema. Act 1 in Acton.
Such a lovely cinema.
A lovely little independent cinema, which I think is up for like Independent Cinema of the Year.
Yes, I don't know if you can vote, but if you can, I'd recommend voting for them. It was very nice.
I think only cinemas can vote.
Okay.
No, I don't think that's true. But yeah, shout out Zainab. You probably know her. She's very cool. She's online. She works bloomin' hard.
She absolutely does. And she's fantastic at what she does. And she's fantastic at picking a film to watch for a group of people, right? Because you got a group of people, different tastes. She went with Shark Tale, which is a film I have not watched probably since it came out.
Yeah, in what, 1923?
Can I tell you something?
No.
At my school, we did a dance to Working at the Car Wash. Yeah. And I am, as we've said many times, very bad at dancing. I have no coordination. Neither do you. So I don't know why you're R-ing me.
Darling, one of us is a dancer, and it ain't you.
A dancer. I would say you're probably worse than me, but I can't dance. And I remember being like, working at the car wash, yeah. I think I had to do it for extracurricular, but it was to that song. And so when they were playing it in the movie, I was like, I know this song so well.
Dancing is about spirit and it's about your joie de vivre. And I feel like I do have greater joie de vivre than you. So perhaps I am the greatest dancer. I throw it down on the dance floor.
We're both bad at dancing.
At work, bizarrely, they were saying, Benedict, would you ever do Strictly Come Dancing? And I'm like, well, yeah, on paper. But when they actually tried to get me to do the dance, I actually don't know if I'd be physically able.
I think you'd really struggle.
As would you.
I think you would. I think our brains don't work. Whatever brains we have, memorizing movement, we do not have that.
I'm really bad. I think we're both quite bad at like if someone shows me a move and then says you do it, especially because it's always mirrored because they're facing you. I'm like, I can't do that.
Crazy. You know, mirrored, that reminded me, we've been watching a few of the XFM cartoon Carl Pilkington.
Oh my God, yeah.
And there's this bit. I know those like the back of my hand, by the way. That might be my specialist subject. I've watched those so many times. But there's a bit where instead of him having art on his walls, he just has one big mirror. And
no, the wall is like made of mirrored material. Yeah.
And so he talks to his girlfriend through the mirror.
Yeah, because they put their TV in front of it. So, and like Ricky and Stephen are like, wait, so you watch TV just staring at yourself? And he's like, yeah, of course. I love Carl Pilkington.
What's he doing? Where is Carl Pilkington?
I hope he's rich.
He kind of rose to fame. Obviously, we had the Idiot Abroad series. He was the producer on XFM.
Yeah.
He then went on to do the Idiot Abroad series. That ran for 3 or 4 series.
Yeah. And that was with like HBO. So he must have got some decent money from that.
Yeah, they then made cartoons out of the radio show.
Yeah.
He was then in a couple of Ricky's kind of spin-off things, right? Extras?
Was he in Afterlife? Boo.
I don't know.
Every so often I hear a radio advert and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Carl Pilkington.
I think he does some voiceover work, which if you listen to the XFM old stuff,
yes,
money for old rope.
That's what Stephen Merchant calls it, right?
One of my favourite stories is when Carl gets a call and it's for some radio voiceover work for Stephen Merchant and he doesn't pass on the note.
Right.
And Stephen Merchant's like, that's money for old rope.
If any brands are listening, by the way, and would like this voice going, hey, do you have diarrhea?
What could our voices do? I do think you need like a memorable northern voice to get good voiceover work.
It depends what you're trying to advertise.
I'm thinking about the woman from Motherland.
Oh my God. Diane Morgan, is
yes.
it? The amount of voiceover work she gets. It's crazy.
It's money for old rope. I would take it. I would love to do voiceover work. A lot of people comment on my voice and how soothing it is.
They go, I'd like to buy something from that voice. Diane Morgan, I think it's because her voice, because it is like kind of northern and homely and like
Yeah.
warm, and it's like, especially like banks always want that kind of like, we're
Yeah.
here for you. We're definitely not a big evil bank.
We're here for you, and your money will be protected with us. Join the bank today.
Is this you doing a bank advert?
Yeah, and then I want you to do one, and I want people to comment on who they would trust more.
In these difficult times, you need to know who you can trust. That's why I turn to the bank. The bank. We're here for you. I went bassy. That's my ace card.
I don't want to give a note to quote the studio, but
Great.
I think
We can move on.
it's too fake. You need to sound like, for a bank ad, we need to sound friendly and approachable.
I'm very friendly. Okay. Well. If it isn't you, you cheeky fucker, come to the bank.
Christmas is just around the corner, and I need someone I can trust with my money. Take care.
Is this the worst listening ever? We're just doing adverts at them.
Take care of the pounds, and the pennies will take care of themselves.
Well, when I was on Radio X, get into the music, I found that when I was on the radio, I would make my voice a little bit more silky like that. Once you've got the headphones on, you can't help but do it. XFM, full circle.
So true.
So true, bestie. And I do want to say one thing, and I know we're having a laugh, and I don't want to make things heavy. I know things have been quite heavy on the podcast lately, but I do want to say one thing. Madam Morrible, flip it round, wicked witch.
I actually love the flip it round, wicked witch.
Wicked witch.
And I love it every time she does it. And I know that she loves it.
She loves it.
And that makes me happy. I think it's a really sweet, lovely thing.
It's good you like it when she does it, because she does it fairly often, I would say.
The thing about me is I always try and stop myself when I'm like, oh, I probably told you this story.
But that's the thing about junkets. I think that's the training for press tours.
Yeah.
Is probably your PR person says to you, no, you need to repeat the stories because you'll run out otherwise.
Well, that's incredibly true. And it must be hard because, there's only so many answers you can give to the same sort of questions. I guess for it to land, you have to do it so many times. Would we know about turn it round, wicked witch?
Wicked witch.
If she hadn't done it, 30 plus times. I don't think it would have hit the headlines.
No, and it's important that she's got the word out there.
Compilation between that and there could be 100 people in a room and just one person believes in you.
That's why it stings when you do a junket interview and you can tell the person's been asked the question before and you're like, I'm getting the leftovers.
Yeah, it's really tough, isn't it? Especially because we spend so much time on questions and trying to ask things that are maybe a little bit less obvious. But sometimes you do have to ask the obvious setup question to get into some sort of flow with them.
Some sort of conversation. We did a junket recently and they literally said well, what we've been saying today,
Yeah, I know.
implying that they've been asked it 50 times.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good question as well, but
I actually didn't think it was an obvious question, but apparently it was.
yeah.
Hey, you win some, you lose some with junket questions. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you hit the nail on the head and sometimes it's like, oh, that is something other people thought of too, which in many ways is that's the obvious thing and then what people will want an answer to.
Exactly. Yeah, you can go in and try and ask something really obscure, but does anyone care about that? The main thing people care about is that Madam Morrible, flip it round, wicked witch.
Wicked witch.
If people don't know what this is, they're going to be like, what are they talking about? If you don't know what it is, check out Michelle Yeoh on social media.
Oh my gosh.
From the bank.
We haven't even talked. We were on the news this week.
Oh my God, yes, we were on the bloody news, the real news.
This has been the longest week of our lives. We've done so much.
I can't believe that was this week. We were on Sky News Breakfast.
Yes.
Breaking news, us. I'm always surprised at how few people it takes to run an operation like that.
Yeah.
It's still a decent amount of people. It's probably 30 people. But in your head, you're like, TV news must take a cast of thousands.
Yeah.
And it's no, it just takes 30 people who know what they're doing.
I think it is very impressive. So the Sky News morning show, it's on 7 till 10 every morning. They are live on TV for 3 straight hours.
Yeah.
That is a real skill.
That is. And you're reading off an auto cue that you've probably not had any time to see ahead of time. You're just live reading off an auto cue.
Yeah.
The second our interview ended, they cut straight to a live interview with Zach Polanski, the leader of the Green Party. That's an insane gear change to have to do.
We were on talking about Wicked, if you haven't seen it.
And actually, the person on before us was the head of Ofcom, which is the people who moderate media in the UK. And she was having a very serious conversation about online abuse. And then they were like, gear change, here's the Townsends.
Woman Wither asked us what we were on talking about. And we were like, wicked.
Wicked. Well, we were like, the thing is, what you need to understand is that Madame Morrible, flip it round,
Wicked Witch. We should have done that. That would have been
I didn't know about it then.
funny. A lot of comments online were asking, why weren't we sat together? I mean, we didn't pick the setup, did we?
No, so the way they sat us was they had the two hosts in the middle and then we were either end.
Yeah.
So they would kind of flip to each of us, which I guess makes sense from a TV perspective. But then also everyone was like, you're sat on the wrong sides.
Yes, because this is something we've been thinking about. Are we Ant and Dec or Benedict and Hannah?
Yeah, because you know Ant and Dec, famously, Ant is always on the left of the screen and Dec, so it reads Ant and Dec, so you always know who's who. And so I think we've accidentally done that because I always sit on this side of the sofa. What is this? The left side, and you always sit on the right. But on Sky News, they flipped us, and everyone else flipped out.
And everyone thought I was Benedict.
Yeah, everyone was like, wow, Benedict looks so much worse. Benedict, flip it round. Hannah! Wicked Hannah!
Oi.
Oh.
Be careful.
Oh. But now we turn to something very fun. We mentioned junkets before. This is our interview with the director and producer of Zootropolis 2. Such a fun interview.
We had the best time. They were so interesting. I mean, I didn't expect them to be uninteresting, but so insightful, very warm, lovely. I loved every second of this interview.
It was maybe one of my favorite junkets we've ever done.
Yeah, same.
They also had really interesting stuff to say, including about Ratatouille. So this is that interview now. Enjoy.
There's so many Easter eggs and like background jokes in this movie. I think my favorite is Burning Mammal. So funny.
Very good.
What is your favorite Easter egg in this movie?
You know, there are so many, and honestly, we are still discovering them as we watch the film.
This is true.
There are over 700 artists working on this film, and as the shots go through the process, people will add things in. I think one of my favorites is the hidden Mickeys. There's a few of them spread throughout, but in Marsh Market when they're just arriving and Nick grabs the hat for Judy and puts the hat on for himself, there's a Mickey right there hanging on the hat rack. Mickey. I love that one.
I mean, there's 1 billion in this movie. I'd say any reference to 90s action movies, there's quite a lot of those. Wind Dancer, is a former, actor turned politician. So there's a lot of that kind of late 90s goodness that I think is great. But I think my favorite is the frying pan. The frying pan that Nick hits Gary in the head with, that's literally the frying pan from Tangled. And even the sound it makes is the same sound effect from Tangled.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's less of an Easter egg, but this is a snout rage, really.
Yeah.
Just,
Byron Howard came up with that line. I got to give it to him.
I love all of Frantic Pig's lines.
Yeah, by the
all
way,
of them.
are you guys aware that Frantic Pig is played by Jenny Goodwin's actual husband in real life?
That's so
Josh
fun.
Dowd.
wow.
Yeah.
Frantic Pig is also it's a great credit to have.
Yes, exactly.
It's interesting you reference other movies because there was a wonderful reference to Ratatouille in this film that we really enjoyed.
Yeah,
First of all, is that Remy or is that just some rat?
I mean, what did you think?
I like to think that is Remy.
It's Remy. I'll tell you something that's true, which is that shot was animated by one of the animators who animated him in actual Ratatouille.
Wow.
The music is composed by Michael Giacchino, who was also the composer of Ratatouille. And when you hear that moment, the accordion you hear is actually played by Michael in that moment. So it's extra Ratatouille-tastic.
And we've got Ratatouille 2 on the horizon. Do you think there will be a return of the favour?
You know what? They should. Yeah. We talk to them about making sure that happens because, I think it's about time.
Yes.
Yeah, lock it in. There seems to be references to The Shining across Disney and Pixar. I love it.
Yeah.
But what is it about The Shining?
It's such an amazing film. I mean, it truly is.
Yes.
It's really, so I think we love film, and The Shining is one of the films that we all love, and so,
Yeah, I
we
will
wanted
say
to
that
put it in there.
when we did want to put it in there, it wasn't just we're going to do a Shining reference. They had to, we have an amazing design team. They had to build that whole hedge maze, and which is very difficult, and then cover it in snow, which is more difficult. And then when we said we're going to destroy it, they had to then make it so it could be destroyed. It's not like you can just smash it because you want to. So all the destruction is then, okay, well, what's the path of this, giant machine going through that's going to make that possible? So it wasn't a cheap joke.
And speaking of Michael Giacchino, there's also like an homage in the music. You've got that Shining music in there as well.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
This film, as well as being, very silly, very fun, also has quite a strong sort of social message about inclusivity and making sure everyone has their place. What do you want people to take from this film?
Well, I think, building off of the first film and really looking at Judy and Nick and their relationship and watching them get to know each other more. I think we, even as humans, when we have relationships, we get to a point where we're learning who they are a little deeper, and we're saying, oh, well, that wasn't what I thought it was, and maybe we look at things a little differently. And so watching Judy and Nick kind of work through that, because I think as humans, we have that choice in that moment of like, well, then I'm just going to retreat and go back to the people that I know that think like I do, or kind of, but really it's pushing through that and trying to understand these differences, which I think makes a stronger relationship.
Jenny Goodwin says something all the time, which I love as a way to think about this movie. She says she loves puzzles, and she says you can't make a great puzzle if all the pieces are the same. You need all the different puzzle pieces to make this great puzzle all fit together, and I think that's really what this movie's saying.
I love that.
Yeah.
We love puzzles. Don't we?
Great.
And we love this movie. Lovely to meet you both.
Really good to meet you
so
guys.
much.
Yeah, thank you for coming
It
today.
was
Yeah.
such a fun movie. We had
Oh,
such a
awesome.
good time. We're gutted we missed the dog screening yesterday.
I know. We found out about it afterwards, and I was irate.
It was a snout rage.
But there's bunnies here. You guys haven't
We're
seen it
off
yet.
to see the
Oh,
bunny.
we're off to see the bunny.
All right. Really good to talk to you.
It
Yeah,
was
thank you so much.
lovely.
Yeah.
What an interview, Han.
And that brings us to the very end of the podcast.
Thank you so much for listening or watching. Oh my God, they've been watching the whole
Oh
time.
my God.
I've been Benedict Townsend,
And I've been Hannah Townsend.
and we'll be back very soon. Love you.
Bye.
Follow. Bye.